Okay, so what I did for you guys is I made you guys a scenario. This isn't nobody, I've never messed with a client like this. Okay, so this isn't nobody in particular, but I just thought that it would help if I gave you guys a scenario. Okay, I'm gonna check to make sure that you guys can see the board. Yeah, all right, cool. All right, guys, so what I want to talk about today is first and foremost, I updated your guys' Trainerize app, okay, with a whole bunch of different habits and goals that I want you guys to perform, because ultimately you guys want to reach these certain goals, right? Well, unfortunately, the thing that happens is that most of the time I'll get you guys, or I get new clients, and this is based on what I learned from my nutrition coaching program, is that I get you guys coming and you guys want your results as of yesterday, right? Everybody wants to have their goals as of yesterday. So when you're coming to me, you're in a rush to get to your goals. For the most part, I'm not saying everybody's like that, but for the most part, everybody wanted their goals yesterday, right? They want to lose the weight, or they want to be toned as of yesterday, okay? But today, they're trying to make that change, right? So the problem is that most of you guys aren't ready to make that change, because most of you guys don't really understand what goes into making that change. Okay, so that's what I kind of want to demonstrate here. So I was looking over some of your guys' logs for food, and I really was concerned. That's why I kind of said that it was urgent, because in order for you guys to get your goals, you have to make sure that your nutrition is, I'm not going to say A1, but at least you're meeting the criteria. Okay, so everybody's going to be starting in a different position. So if you're doing those programs that are like in 21 days I'll get you shredded, okay, you need to avoid those, because chances are they're going to end up hurting you in the long run. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to paint a picture of like what goes in my mind now that I have a little bit more of a nutritional background through my schooling, and how we're going to play this out. So I can't see you because, again, I have the phone facing towards me, so all I'm looking at right now is the camera. So I know I'm in the way of this board right now, but I just want you guys to be able to read it. Okay, so I can't see you. I tried to hook up my laptop right now to see if it went live on here too, but it didn't, so I can't even see myself. So hopefully this all works out. I'll be checking the screen to make sure. Let me know if you guys can hear me, and let me know if you guys can see. Okay, so all right, so we just got this random scenario, just something that I created really quick. Okay, so first and foremost, we want to start with our rough estimate of calories. So in my last post before I did this live video, I shared a link to what's called the Harris-Benedict formula. So there's a whole bunch of different formulas that we as trainers can use to kind of get a rough estimate of how many calories you guys need. I know that's a question that you guys have been dying to know, is how many calories do I need? Okay, so one thing I need you to keep in mind, just as I was explaining to Connie today, there is no absolutes in the nutrition realm. Okay, the Harris-Benedict formula is not 100% catered just to you based on that information. Okay, you're a human being. You're more than your weight, you're more than your height, you're more than your age, you're more than your sex, okay? You have a lifestyle, you have family events that you like to get together to go do. There's stress in your life, so the Harris-Benedict formula is not God's gift to your calories, okay? It's just gonna give us a rough estimate. It is one of the most accurate ways to get a rough estimate of your calories. Okay, but all we're doing is we're trying to get some type of standing point or starting point. Okay, so that's why I asked you guys to kind of find yours, because if you kind of knew what yours was, then this would make a little bit more sense. But if you don't, that's fine, because I'm going to walk through it. Okay, so you first and foremost, we want to find her Harris-Benedict formula. Okay, from there, hopefully you guys can see this. We're going to go to BMR. Okay, so BMR is an abbreviation that stands for basal metabolic rate. So in other words, if you were to just sit on the couch all day or lay in your bed all day, if you have one of those just I'm done with the world days and you just did nothing all day, you would still burn calories, because your body still has to do normal functions to survive, right? You still have to breathe, you still have to digest whatever you're eating, you still have to move to grab your controller or grab whatever you have to grab. Okay, so you're still burning up calories, believe it or not, when you're just doing nothing. Okay, now the importance of building muscle is when you build muscle, you burn even more calories when you just do nothing. Okay, that's why you see these bodybuilders, the natural ones, that they can eat a whole bunch of food, and you're like, man, these guys don't gain any weight. That's because their metabolism is so fast because of the muscle that's on them that they're able to do such a thing, because they got to feed their body. Their body demands more. Okay, I don't know if you guys are familiar with cars and engines, but the bigger the engine, the more fuel that it needs, right? So it's the same with us. So that's why building muscle is important, because building muscle speeds your metabolism up. Breaking it down and using it for energy is not what you want to do. Okay, so BMR, basal metabolic rate. Our next one is another abbreviation called TDEE, total daily energy expenditure, meaning however many calories you burn just from sitting on the couch all day, plus how many calories you would burn if you was to go to your work, if you was to go to the gym. So basically, your rough guess of how many calories you're going to burn within a whole day performing your normal duties. Okay, so for me, that would be how many calories I burn throughout the whole day, going to train you guys, going to work out, doing this video, sitting down, eating my dinner, breathing, everything. Okay, so whatever I do in a whole day requires energy, which is calories. Okay, so that's what TDE means. It just basically means about how much calories you burn in a single day. Now, the more active you are, obviously the more calories you burn. Okay, so that includes your job. If you have a job where you're standing more and moving around, then obviously you're going to burn more calories than somebody who has a sit-down job. Okay, they still require calories, but their demand is not as much. That's why we always ask, what do you do? What do you do for work? Do you sit or do you stand? Do you move? Because we're trying to figure out how active you are outside of the gym in your lifestyle. Okay, most people have sit-down jobs, especially right now with the whole coronavirus. Okay, so we're not burning as much, which means we don't need to eat as much. But the problem is, if we develop the habit of eating for an active person's lifestyle, but we're more of a sedentary person, that's how we start to eat more calories and burn less, because we're not utilizing that energy. Okay, so that's what TDE stands for. So really quick, I don't want to make this super long, but I want to give you guys a scenario. Okay, so we have this random lady. She's 40 years old. Okay, she's about 5'6". Her current weight right now is 190 pounds, and I found her BMR. Her BMR is 1,603.7 calories. Okay, this isn't finite. This isn't like set in stone, but this is probably around the ballpark about how many calories she would burn if she did nothing all day. Okay, so if she didn't go to work and she just had a lazy day, didn't go for any walks, just sat in bed all day, she'd burn about 1,603 calories based on her height, based on her weight, and based on her sex. Okay, so now we're going to take into the account the activity factor. So now we went from BMR, now we're going to go to TDEE, meaning about how many calories does she burn all throughout her whole day, because nobody usually just sits down and does nothing all day. Okay, so we're going to need to get some information from her, right? So I found out she exercises 3 times a week. Okay, we'll say for about an hour. She jogs 2 times a week. We'll say we asked her what her stress level is normally. She says about a 7 out of 10, which means it's super high. Okay, so she's super stressed. Her work, and she's constantly moving. She's always on her feet. I asked her how does she sleep. She sleeps about 5 to 6 hours a night. She wakes up tired, not really hungry until about 9 a.m. So then the question is, well, when do you stop eating? She says, I stop eating at 6 p.m. because I heard it's if you eat late in the day, you get fat. Okay, so let's soak all that information in. She's exercising 3 times a week. About 2 of those times are jogging. So that means maybe the other time she's like weight training or something. Okay, she's super stressed, which right there, she's exercising 3 times a week, which adds stress. She's already stressed just from her normal life, so she's adding stress to stress. So now she's just even more stressed. Okay, her work is constantly moving, so there's a high energy output there. You know, if you have a constantly moving job, You tend to need a little bit more fuel than someone who's sitting down. She sleeps about 5 to 6 hours a night. Okay, she wakes up tired and not very hungry. Okay, she's usually not hungry till about 9 a.m. Okay, she stops eating at 6 p.m. the day before because she heard that if you eat later in the day, you're going to get fat. Okay, so soak all that information in. Now, so I found her TDEE. So I gave her a little bit higher of a factor because she works out 3 times a week and she's constantly moving. So it's not like she's just sitting down all day. So I gave her a little bit higher. Okay, remember I said look in the paragraph to find how much you're going to multiply your BMR by. So I gave her about 1.7. We probably could have even done the 1.9. Okay, and that came out to about 2,766 calories is what she would need just to maintain her body weight. So that's not losing weight. So if in order for her to stay at 190, she'd have to eat 2,766 calories. She's a female. So all my ladies, first thoughts, that's a lot of food, right? Yes, it is. But based on her activity level, based on her stress, based on what she has going on in her life, she needs that. Okay, but I asked her, well, we'll just pretend that she knew what she was eating a day. Let's just say she was eating 1,300 calories a day. So I found out her equation that she needs 2,766 calories a day, but she's only eating 1,300 calories a day. She's in a 1,400 calorie deficit. Okay, so she's in a 1,400 calorie deficit. Okay, that is a lot. That's telling me she's running on all hormones because she doesn't have the calories to meet the demands of what she is trying to do. Okay, that means that her thyroid is probably shot, her adrenals are probably shot, her cortisol is through the roof. Okay, so she's just running on stress, basically is what you're telling me. And her goals, okay, so we have her goals over here, is she wants to lose fat in her stomach. She wants to drop about 30 pounds. She wants to feel more energetic. And she misses her period or it's irregular. Okay, so it doesn't happen frequently. Okay, big things, right? She wants to lose fat in her stomach. She wants to drop about 30 pounds and feel more energetic. So where would you start with this client? She's already eating 1,300 calories. We know to be in a calorie deficit. Well, guess what? She's already in a 1,400 calorie deficit. What are we going to do? Put her on a 21-day program that makes her go to 1,200 calories a day? You think she's going to lose weight then? Chances are she's probably not, because her body has learned to adapt to this 1,300 calorie deficit or 1,300 calories a day. Okay, so she's not even nowhere close to meeting the demands of her body. So one thing we have to understand is our body is made to survive. It's not made to look toned. It can care less how you look, because as long as it's surviving and it's not going into starvation mode, then it's doing its job. Okay, we just have the blessing to be able to work it like art how we want it to look. Okay, so this is where most people come to me. Most of my ladies, they'll come to me eating 1,300 calories, 1,400 calories a day, but their body needs 2,200, 2,300. And then you tell me, I want to lose fat in my stomach, I want to drop 30 pounds. And then my mindset is, what do you want me to do? Cut your calories even more and put you in even a worse state? Okay, does that make sense to you guys? So that's why it's very important that you guys eat, because if you're not eating, I know that sounds backwards, but if you're not eating, we're never going to get to those goals. What happens when we don't get to those goals? You get discouraged. What happens when you get discouraged? You blame me. You blame me, you say I suck, and you shouldn't hire me. Okay? So ultimately, for this case, I gotta tell her something she doesn't want to hear. I'm gonna have to tell her, hey, you're in a 1,466 calorie deficit. You need to eat more. She's gonna look at me like, what? What do you mean I need to eat more? I heard on social media that in order to lose weight, it's calories, burn more calories than what you take in. And I'll tell her, yeah, you're absolutely right. But the problem is, right now, you're not running on your calories. You're running on all your hormones. So in order for you to even get to a real calorie deficit to see the weight that you want to lose, you're going to have to replenish your whole body and go into recover mode. Okay, that's where I have some of you guys at right now. So I'm trying to explain that to you. Okay, yes, you do want to be in a calorie deficit, but when you go into the calorie deficit, you want your body to feel healthy. You want your hormones to be well balanced. Now, granted, not everybody's going to be perfect, okay, but you don't want to be feeling tired as soon as you wake up. You don't want to be feeling hungry until 15 hours later. Okay, that's not a good thing. You should wake up feeling hungry. You should wake up feeling energized. Okay, so this lady is in no way, shape, or form ready to lose fat in her stomach, drop 30 pounds, feel more energetic, and she's missing her period because chances are she's not getting enough fat in her diet. Okay, fats are what kind of build our hormones. Okay, so if she's not getting enough fat in her diet because she heard fats make you fat, then her periods, that explains why her periods are irregular. Now, some of you can say she's premenopausal. Again, that could be because of her hormones, because she's running on all of her hormones, because she's not eating sufficiently. Okay, does this make sense to you guys? Because this is where most of you guys are at. Most of you guys are coming to me wanting to lose 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds. But most of you guys are eating like this, but because of your body mass index, you should be eating 2,000 calories, but you're eating 1,300. Okay, now 2,000 and 1,300 isn't a drastic big difference. Okay, that would be like the max. There's like 700 calorie deficit, that'd be the max. Okay, but usually you want to start slow, like 250 to 500 calorie deficit. 1,400, that's a big change. Okay, and if she's been doing this for a year, 2 years, that means that her body became metabolically adapted, meaning that her body is used to running at this significant amount of calories. Okay, so either one or two things are going to happen in this case. Either I'm going to tell her, well, I am going to tell her, hey, we need to increase your calories by 20%. So every single week, we're going to try to increase our calories until we're not going to get to 2,700, but we're going to try to get like 2,200. Okay, that'd be my ultimate goal, is to try to get her at 2,200 calories, feeling good. Okay, once she starts to meet my requirements, I'm not going to tell you, because then you'll know what to look for. Then you guys can lie to me like, yeah, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. No, I need this to be genuine, because I'm not trying to hurt nobody. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what I'll look for, but we need to get her into recovery mode. And now you're asking me, well, how long is that going to take? As long as it takes for you to cooperate. Okay, she's probably not going to be hungry. So it probably is going to take a few months for her to go from 1,300 to 2,200, 2,300, 2,400 calories. Okay, so she's either going to hire me as a coach and trust me, or she's going to say, well, I'll just go to the next trainer and they'll give me a 1,100 calorie meal plan, which will put me at 1,600 calorie deficit, and I'll see the results then. Go for it. But that's just not me. I can't do that to somebody. Okay, I'm not going to ruin you guys just to make money. Okay, so does this make sense to you guys? So again, first step, one of my biggest things for you guys, like I said, I updated your guys' goals and habits, is I need to see where you're at. I need to see what you're currently eating. That's why I keep stressing to you guys. I need to know how many calories you're eating. For a week would give me the best idea of what you guys are eating. Okay, usually we do 3 days, but 3 days could be, you could do it Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but then the weekend comes and come to find out you're splurging in alcohol, you're eating a whole bunch of pizza. So those 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, were good. So you was eating like 1,600 calories those days, but then the weekend comes and you're eating 4,000 calories. So that just threw everything out. So now I have this false image of what I think you're really eating. Okay, so a whole week would be more beneficial, because now it's going to take into account what you do during the week and also what you do on the weekend. Okay, so that makes sense. So it's very important for you guys to give me some type of an idea of where you're at. Now I get it. It's tedious to log everything. You're going to have to weigh everything. You're going to have to, if you have a barcode, you're going to have to scan stuff and learn, what your serving sizes and stuff are. Okay, if you can't do that, then my best suggestion, that's why I tell you guys, hey, send me your meals. Take a picture and just send it to me, because at least you're starting to get into the habit of recording that way. So then that way when you're eating, Now we can build onto that. Okay, everything that I say, everything that I question you guys to do is because I'm trying to build a foundation. Okay, so what goes into losing those 30 pounds? Calorie deficit, yeah, for sure. But can I put you in a calorie deficit when you're already 1,500 calories deep? I can't. I won't. Okay, so you guys are going to have to go into what's called the post-season phase, where you're just focusing on light workouts, managing your stress, and basically recovering your body. So I'd rather you sleep more than you go to the gym. Sounds backwards, but hey, that's where it's at, because your body's been stressed for so long that it's not running how it should be. Okay, so let's go back to that. What goes into the calories in, calories out? Knowing how many calories you're eating, first of all. Well, how do I know how many calories I'm eating? I'm logging my food. Okay, if you're not logging your food right now, you're not ready for a diet. Okay, what else? Sleeping at least 7 hours a day. How many hours of sleep are you getting right now? 5, 6? Okay, so at least 7. That's the bare minimum. Some people say 8, 9, maybe even 9.5. Okay, so we're just scratching the surface with sleep. I'm being generous with that one. Okay, so if you're not even in that mode to be well recovered, because when you go into calorie deficit, you're not going to feel so energetic. Okay, because you're eating less. So what you're doing is you're slowing down your body's metabolism because it wants to survive. Right now it's going into a frantic because it's like, what's going on? You know, I'm used to eating this much calories, now you're eating less. So it goes into a frantic. That's why you can only do a calorie deficit for so long, because it slows everything down. Okay, so what else goes into that? Logging, sleeping, managing your stress. So if you're a super high stress person, I'm saying like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really high, 1 being really low. If you're like at above a 6, I would say you're a really stressed person. And I'd say 5 and 6 is like pushing it too. Like you want to keep it low, because the lower you can keep your stress, that means that your body's going to recover faster from your workouts, and it's going to give you what you want, which is the weight loss and the fat loss. Okay? If it feels stressed, it's not going to release what you want. It's not going to release the weight because it feels stressed, and it's in a frantic that, hey, we're going to go into starvation mode, and I can't let anything go because I need to spare everything. Does that make sense? Okay, so we got that. What goes into eating? We need to eat enough protein. Okay, when we go into a calorie deficit, like I said, your whole body slows down. Your metabolism slows down, and your body wants to start to use your muscle for energy. Okay, so we got to kind of battle that. That's why I'm stressing to you guys right now who are a little bit more advanced to get enough protein in a day. Because if you're not going to get enough protein, then you're going to get skinny fat. Okay, you don't want to get skinny fat. You want to be lean, right? You want to have those nice shoulders, nice arms, okay, nice tight midsection. Well, that's not going to happen if you're not getting enough protein. Okay, so that's why I'm stressing. That's why everything in your Trainer Eyes app, all those different goals and habits are to prepare you to get to the big goal. Okay, those are small little habits. I'm not demanding everybody to take all those habits on at one time, but there are a few of them that I would like for you guys to practice and make it habitual. How do you know you got the hang of it? When you don't have to think about doing it no more. Okay, so when you guys wake up every day, do you think about going to brush your teeth, or is it just kind of like a habit? You just wake up and do it. Okay, so that's where we need to get to that point. So how long is it going to take for you to get to this goal? However long it takes for you to cooperate. Honestly. So if you're going to see your goals in 1 month, no, you're not. Okay, so if you think that you're going to come train with me, you're going to see a huge change within a month, then I'll let you down, because that's not going to be true. It's going to take a long period of time. Okay, nobody just gains body fat in a week. Okay, it usually takes years. Okay, that scale didn't just change within 2 months. It changed within a few years. Okay, so it's going to be the same thing. That's why you got to trust yourself. That's why you got to have patience, practice these new habits. Okay, you're not seeking perfection, you're seeking progress. Okay, so it's important. I hope this made sense to you guys, that this is just a rare example. Okay, so you need to eat more is basically what I'm trying to stress, and you need to log or send me pictures, because I can't help you if you're not helping me. Okay, so I hope this makes sense to you guys. I just want to do a little example, put it into words so then that way you guys can kind of visualize what I'm saying, and I'm not just saying and preaching it to you. Okay, so I can't see if you guys said anything because I'm looking at the back of my phone. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I hope this did a good job. Thank you guys. Get ready for bedtime. Okay, you need your sleep. Let's rest, let's recover, and I appreciate you guys.